Mark Swan said to us, hey, you recently had a TikTok about the Stirling color tartans and sports teams.
It's actually a really good question. Now, there are a couple pro U.S. sports teams that do have tartans, but not many. So, we came out with our Stirling color collection. We have the Stirling red, if you're a fan of the Phillies. We have the Stirling purple, if you're a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. If you're a Flyers fan, we got the Stirling orange. If you're a Penguins fan or Steelers fan, just ran out of cloth.
I'm curious if the original Stirling was made for sports or just as something universal. What are its origins? Would sports tartans be registered or have to be registered? FYI, I might use Stirling as an excuse to get my sports fan family into my odd hobby. Let's go Red Wings. He got a mistake right there.
He misspelled Flyers.
He misspelled
it's fine.
Flyers,
yes.
But that's okay.
It's all good.
So what are the origins of the Stirling tartan? And you should describe it for anybody out there who doesn't know it. And
sure. Back in... When did we try to do rental stuff? Was it 20?
It was like right after I started. Yeah.
When did you start? 13, 14?
13.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
In the Wayback Machine here. Back in 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. We threw our hat in the ring for the rental, the kilt rental thing. Spoiler alert, hated it. So we no longer rent. But when we went to do that, we wanted to have tartans, thinking of it through a bride and groom type, mentality. We wanted to have it Scottish national, Ireland's national for, bride and grooms who wanted to have an Irish or a Scottish bent to the wedding. Mm-hmm. And then we also wanted to have other tartans that would either be different colors or, work with different themes in the wedding, that kind of thing. So we also did our American heritage. We did the Celtic nations as a red tartan. Mm-hmm. And then we wanted one that was a gray color palette tartan because that was when the Highland granite and the Hebridean colors were starting to come out and become popular. So we did our version of a grayscale kind of tartan, which was the Stirling tartan. Sterling silver, just different shades of gray.
Something to go with any colors your wedding might have.
Exactly.
The bride's flowers or whatever.
Yep.
That's just neutral.
Yep. Neutral was the name of the game. So if none of the other four tartans worked for a wedding, the idea was this would work because it's gray. It wouldn't matter.
Right.
So we designed that one. We did a run of it in wool. We have it in our polyviscose fabric. And then about a year ago or so, we said, you know what? Actually about...
It was more than a year ago.
Well, about 5 years ago, we were talking, Mac and Ian and I, as Flyers fans, we were joking around saying, you know what? We got to do something with Flyers colors. We need a Flyers tartan or a Broad Street Bullies tartan, which isn't copyrighted. Or, TM Flyers kind of thing. So we designed a orange and black and gray tartan based on the Stirling. We just changed up some of the colors, presto changeo, Broad Street Bullies tartan. And that I've been wearing that kilt to games and things like that. And it got me thinking, other sports teams and other, fans of other teams must want this kind of thing as well. So then we designed our Stirling color collection, which is, red, green, blue, orange, yellow, and purple. So that's the origins of the Stirling collection and kind of how it evolved over time. Spoiler alert, there's one more
okay.
Stirling tartan color coming. Ooh. When did we say it's coming out? I'm not saying what it is.
February.
It will be out around Valentine's Day. That's the closest I'm going to give you to a hint.
I'm glad you said that because I was all set to spill the beans on that. And
Nope.
then, okay.
Nope. No one knows about it. It's a secret. Shh. No one will see this video.
So I will throw quick to get the sort of shameless plug out and get it over with. The Stirling tartans are really awesome for cosplay, which is the for those of us who are not as into the sports ball teams. If you wanted to do a comic book character or certain fantasy and sci-fi uniform kind of cosplays, they are actually really perfect for that. Like some of the ladies in the building are going to do cosplay of the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo, and they were going to use the Stirling tartans for that. So
yeah,
it's made to order for any of that. Like Hogschmarts, whatever, the Harry
the Potterer,
Harry Potterhead, and the chalice of
School of magical
yuck.
kids that
Yeah.
run through train walls.
Right.
Or something.
Yes. Apparently they have colors for things, and Stirling is good for that too.
Yeah.
But here's the greater question: do sports teams have to register tartans, or do they register tartans? Do any have registered tartans, or do they just not care?
For the most part, they don't care. I know that over in the UK, a bunch of football clubs have their own tartans registered. There's more of those coming out on a regular sort of basis. In the US, there's a couple. We researched it when we did that TikTok, Matt. What were the teams? Do you remember?
The Jets and the Lions both have official tartans.
The Jets and the Lions for the NFL have official tartans, but not any other teams that we could find. There are the thing I always found amusing as a Flyers fan, if I haven't mentioned before, I like the Flyers. As a Flyers fan, they have like black and orange and gray like tartan ties and like pajama pants and things like that, but none of them are like a real tartan. They're just kind of tartan-esque. It's like, why don't you just take the extra quarter step and design a freaking tartan, or let me do it. I promise it'll be good. And just jump over and do it. But no, not many sports teams have it. In my mind, in my marketing brain, they are missing a trick. They absolutely should design a tartan, register it, even if you're not really going to use it for much. Just get it on the books, and then as you see fit, incorporate it into branding going forward.
Yeah, I think we're biased in that everybody should have a tartan, and tartan is awesome, but we're also not wrong. And you are kind of, it's like colleges, I think, shoot themselves in the foot sometimes by having a tartan but not taking full advantage of it, or restricting it so much that their alumni and their fans can't really enjoy it. So same kind of a deal.
There are several collegiate tartans.
Yes.
There's more of them than there are like professional sports teams tartans.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But,
We've actually done a few.
You don't have to actually worry about it being a registered thing if you're. If they have one, I mean, would they just copyright it if they wanted to? I guess so they wouldn't bother registering it with the registry.
Most colleges that have designed tartans have registered them with the tartan register as well.
Okay.
And then they also copyright them.
Yeah.
So they fully control the whole design and the passing out or the usage of said design. But it's there. A lot of places are missing a trick, and from being just a regular sports fan, I would say, forget whether it's official or not. Wear a kilt, wear a tartan with your team stuff in a color that matches with your team stuff. That's why we did the Stirling colors. There are clan tartans that match specific teams. There are universal tartans that match specific teams, but we wanted to design our own, so that's why we did the Stirling color tartans.
Yeah, it's more on the nose. It's simpler.
Yep.
So you can actually it's more flexible.
Yep.
So, but they are pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Hey guys, thank you for watching. If you want to support us and the content we produce, the best thing to do is to buy the stuff we sell. Check out usakilts.com today.